When the Raptors hired Nick Nurse to be their head coach, I said, who is this guy? Well, he's the guy who's in the NBA Finals. My bad. We welcome Raptors coach Nick Nurse to the program, and we'll start with this. When you went down 2-0 to Milwaukee, some pronounced the series as over. I was one of those sums. What do you see as the key move that turned the series around and into your favor?
Well, I think we just didn't panic, Tony. I think we realized they were a good team, and we thought it would be a long series, and we just needed to get back home and get a win. I thought we outplayed them in game one, but the ball didn't bounce our way, and we took an L, and we didn't play very well in game two, but we'd done that a couple times in the playoffs too, one against Philly and one against Orlando, but we bounced right back from those as well. So we just went back and got to work, and our guys never really wavered.
Well, looking back is sort of irresistible given the nature of that series, Nick, but I want us to spin this forward for a bit. Of course, Warriors game one Thursday night in Toronto. How different is it dealing with, coaching against, preparing for the Warriors with Kevin Durant and without Kevin Durant?
Well, my training helps me here. It feels like I'm back in the G League or the D League when I was there coaching. Is you used to know who was playing about an hour before the game. Guys were getting called up and sent down, and you prepared the best you can. And when you finally figured it out, you prepared again, and you didn't really let it bother you. So, we're certainly preparing for those guys to play. And when we get official word whether they are or not, we'll make any adjustments or plans that we need to make. But I know one thing, they're going to have 5 guys out there when the ball goes up, and so will we, and we just got to play them.
All right, I have to ask you a much more important question now as ordered by my 11-year-old son and Drake fanatic, who says, Dad, if you're going to talk to Coach Nurse, you have to ask him if they're friends. Are they boys? Is there a relationship with you and of course, the number one Raptors face?
He's really nice to me, Michael, every time I see him. I know that. He's a really nice guy. The whole back rub thing, I didn't even know it was happening until the next day. Somebody sent me a picture, and I didn't even feel his hands on me. So you've probably heard my response to that. I said either I was really focused or he's got really soft hands. So I'm good with either one of those you want to take. But no, he's a huge fan. He's like your 11-year-old son as a Raptor fan. He loves the team and very, very proud of the city of Toronto, and you can see that.
So not everybody knows your story. I certainly didn't until I looked some of it up today, that you coached in England for a while, that you coached in the D League or the G League or whatever that is called for a while. I am told when you went to school, you studied to be an accountant. What were your plans? What kind of accountant would you have been?
Yeah, I went to the University of Northern Iowa. They had a great accounting program, one of the tops in the country. One of my older brothers went to Northern Iowa. He was an accountant, and I don't know, I was just trying to get a degree and get into the world. And then I decided that I really loved basketball about my senior year and finished the degree and started coaching and have not accounted for anything since leaving Northern Iowa.
But you've got a lot of disparate loves going on because also you were a pole vaulter. It was track and field. I'm not going to get into Tony with the stuff about being a Cubs fan. That's between you and me. But pole vaulting, awesome. How did you get into pole vaulting and how good were you?
Again, so I'm the youngest of 9 kids. I got 5 older brothers, and they were all pole vaulters. And in our backyard, man, we had a pole vaulting pit. One of my brothers brought a pole home one day, and we started, throwing an old mattress out there. We started pole vault. I was pole vaulting probably at 4 or 5 years old, and so were all my brothers. A lot of kids in the neighborhood. There was a few broken up limbs in the neighborhood. It was we were more about quantity than we were quality. Just let anybody try it back there, but that's how that started.
How high did you get? Did you ever go 14 feet, 15 feet? How high did you go?
No. 12 feet 10 was my highest. I wasn't the greatest athlete in the world, Tony. I was kind of slow and not very strong as a high schooler, but that doesn't fit for pole vaulting very well.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this. We know there's a brand. There's an NN personal brand that I'm told is on hats, if not all around the world. Certainly you can lay your hands on some of these hats. Can you explain this to us?
Yeah, it was. I originally started as a Travis Matthews had a T on top of an M, and my brother's the head equipment manager at the University of Northern Iowa, and they're a Nike school like the NBA is, and he said, "Why is your brother always wearing that hat? It looks like NN his initials. I'm gonna get him some with NN." So he gave them to my brother, 4 of them in total, and he gave them to me, and I like them. They're black. They go with what I wear a lot. So that's the story.
You win the NBA Finals,
I'll get
there'll
you
be
one if
more
you
than
want.
4 of those. Thank
World
you so
famous,
much,
that's
Nick.
right.
Thank you. Good
Nick.
luck.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Big thrill for me.
That's so great.